Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of the Unemployed Diaries. I am getting a bit of a late start to the day. It's 11:17 and I'm just now sitting down at my computer to start my day, start my workflow. I have been sleeping in a little bit later than I would like to the past few weeks, so I really need to break that habit, but that's a story for another time. So in this video, I'm going to focus on just job searching and applying to jobs. I have a few jobs saved on my LinkedIn account that I saw yesterday that I want to apply to, and of course, I'm going to keep searching from there. So we're going to just do a really heavy dive into applying for jobs in this episode. You're going to want to make sure that you stick around to the end of the video where I go over all of my job search and unemployment updates. I have a few new things that I haven't shared with you yet, so make sure you stay till the end for that. So I'm going to dive right into my job search. I'm going to start with updating my resume and go from there. I just wanted to jump on here and briefly mention that I am expanding my search to roles outside of digital marketing and communications. I'm still applying to those positions, but I'm also applying to roles similar to what I did before, so in healthcare and operations, as well as administrative services. Hey guys, it's coffee break time, so you know that means that I like to check in and do a little chat with you while I sip some of my coffee. So today's coffee is cold brew with blueberry cold foam, and what I did was I made the blueberry cold foam myself. I made like a really thick, almost jelly-like blueberry syrup with brown sugar and a little bit of vanilla in it. I actually got the blueberries from my CSA share, so they're local blueberries, so really good. And then I added heavy cream, milk, a little bit more vanilla, and I just frothed that up and then put that into my coffee. So that's what I'm drinking. I love the color of this. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but it has like a nice bluish purple color. To be honest, it doesn't really taste like blueberries that much. It doesn't have a very strong blueberry taste to it, but I still think it's good. So I'm just gonna sip away at my coffee. I apologize, I have really creaky floorboards, so I'm gonna try not to move too much while I'm talking to you. So I applied for 5 jobs this morning, and it took me about 2 hours to apply to those, so that was pretty good. I put on my Work With Me video that I uploaded last week, and it really kind of just helped get me into a groove of being productive and applying to those jobs. And then after that, when I was about to go on my lunch, I did get an email from a company that I really wanted to work for. This is the second time I've applied to them. It was a marketing job and I didn't get it. I got the auto rejection, but that's fine. It is what it is. I was really hoping there might be a chance for me to get that job, but they said they had a lot of applicants, so it's likely that there's just people that have more experience than me, and there's probably hundreds of people applying to it. I have not been very productive today. I've had Kevin call me a couple times to talk about stuff. He's at work, but he's been talking to me a little bit more just about like things that he's been dealing with. And I chatted with my mom to check on her and my family, and I've been doing some laundry. So the rest of the day, I'm gonna just clean up the house a little bit, drink my coffee. It's almost 4 o'clock, so I feel like I did really not that much today other than apply to those 4 jobs and kind of like job search. So the rest of the day, we're just gonna clean up. I have some food prepping to do, and then tomorrow, I'm gonna try to wake up earlier and get a good start to the day and just try not to be on the phone unless it's an absolute emergency, and really like hunker in on applying to jobs and maybe doing a couple other job related things. We'll see what happens tomorrow and see how I feel. So that's the plan for the rest of the day. So I will check in with you later.
Your imaginary attacker has a knife and a gun.
And a really dark intention, right?
Us?
Yes.
Hello, so it's the next day and it's almost noon, and I'm going to take a bit of a break from the job search. I spent a few hours looking for jobs this morning, and to be honest, I didn't really find anything at all. I applied to only one job today. I checked LinkedIn, I checked Glassdoor, I checked Simply Hired, and lately I've been using ChatGPT to help me find companies that kind of like fit my criteria. So I've been asking it for healthcare startups. So I've been looking on company websites instead of just solely relying on job search engines and things like that. There was not a lot to be found today. It is Friday. I've noticed that there's typically not a lot of jobs posted on Friday or on Monday. So I think it might just be like the time of the week that there's not a lot going on. I also think that I mentioned in my last video that there was like a period of almost a month, I think in July, where I really didn't apply to many jobs because I couldn't find anything to apply to. That seems to still be the case. I'm having a hard time finding jobs that match my skills and what I'm looking for. I've even started looking for jobs at the company that I got laid off from just because I want to see what they have, and they aren't even posting anything. So that's kind of frustrating because I was really hoping to up the amount of jobs that I'm applying to and be more open with the roles and things, and just try to apply to whatever fits my skills that I already have. But I'm not having a lot of luck finding stuff like that. So I guess it just is what it is. I am going to check later back on LinkedIn to see if maybe more postings came up, but until then I'm gonna do some stuff around the house. I have to marinate tonight's dinner. I'm making carne asada, and I have more laundry to do and the usual household things. I'm not sure what else I'm gonna do today. I was hoping to find more jobs and spend pretty much all day doing that, and I'm not having any luck, so I'm not sure what's gonna happen yet, but I will check in with you later. So it's probably almost 3 o'clock, and I looked for more jobs again and I didn't see anything. And to be honest, I'm feeling very unmotivated today for some reason. Yesterday I felt focused, productive. I got a lot done, not just like on my job search, research, applying scale, but I got a lot of laundry done and cleaned a lot of stuff in the house and cooked and did dishes. I just was like in a mood to zoom around, and I just did not stop until I was going to bed. And then today I'm just very low energy, which is kind of like normal for me. So I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with the rest of my day. I'm feeling like so unmotivated and low energy that I don't even know what to film. And I definitely noticed that I'm not getting a lot of shots of stuff today. Like I'm kind of just doing whatever I have to do and not feeling like picking up my camera. There's been times where I'm filming and I try to not show the struggle in the moment because I'm just trying to like deal with it. And today I'm like, you know what, I want to pick up the camera and talk about the fact that I'm like struggling right now to just deal with motivation instead of waiting till later and talking about it. And I'm even feeling some sort of anxiety. Like earlier I had like a lot of chest pains and tightness in my chest and anxiety, and I don't really know where that was coming from. I think part of it might be because I was putting a lot of pressure on applying to jobs, which is kind of something I want to talk about later, like how I'm feeling overall. Yeah, sorry, I started rambling there for a second, so I'm going to try to reel this back in. Just not having a great day, just not feeling motivated. It's not a bad day, nothing bad's really happening. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not vibing with life today. I don't even know what I want to do with myself. I don't think I can handle looking at LinkedIn anymore because it's just making me feel annoyed and kind of bad that I haven't found a job yet. Like, it's causing anxiety. And I also think that staying off social media, like Threads, is a good thing, because sometimes when people are being nasty to one another or talking about things that are kind of negative on social media and I read it, it makes me feel sad for humankind, and so I don't think that's something I should be doing either. So I don't know. I might go play The Sims. I don't really talk about that too much on my channel, but I'm a Sims 4 player. I've played it since, I don't know, I was like a teenager, like 11, 12, something like that. I typically only play it in the fall and winter when there's like nothing going on and you're kind of just inside, but I did start playing again the other day. I was like, I'm gonna jump on, so I played it twice so far. So sometimes I like to play that because when I can't control my life and I'm anxious about things that are going on outside of my control, I play The Sims because I can control my Sims characters' lives. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll do that, I'm not sure, but that's the haps, the situation, and I'll check in with you later and try to share with you what I end up doing. Hello, so it's now Monday, and I ended up not filming over the weekend because I just did not feel good at all. I mentioned Friday I just wasn't feeling good or motivated. I was really tired, and I ended up getting a little sick Saturday. I recently had a medicine change, and I think that is why I wasn't feeling so good, but I am feeling a lot better now. I got a lot of sleep over the weekend. I didn't set an alarm. I just let myself rest. So now I am back at looking at jobs. I just pulled up LinkedIn. I have 18 notifications, so I want to go through and look and see if there's anything I want to apply to. After that, I'm gonna go through all the jobs that I've already applied to and see if those companies are hiring anything else that might be a fit for what I'm looking for and the skills that I have. I've been meaning to do that for a couple days now, so I want to check that off of my to-do list. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna take you along with me, of course, and then we're just gonna have a chat about a couple updates. So I'm gonna get started looking for jobs. It is now 1:30, and I went through every single job that I've applied to so far and looked at those companies' websites to see if they had anything open, and I did not find any positions that matched directly with what I was looking for. I did apply to 4 general interest opening positions, so I sent my resume to them anyway. Since it was just a general interest, I'm not necessarily expecting anything to come from that, but I still think it's a good idea to put feelers out there and your resume out there, especially if it's a company that you find interesting or you would be interested in working with them in like any sort of capacity that matches your skills. So that's what I did. And now I'm starving, so I'm gonna go have lunch. I also looked again for more jobs and I don't see anything. So I think when I come back for lunch, we'll do a bit of our like check-in and our updates, because I do have something exciting to tell you that's coming up in September. So I will talk to you then. Hey everyone, so we are at the end of the video, which means that it's time for my unemployment and job search updates. So the first update is that I am no longer receiving any unemployment benefits from my state. Last week was the last check I received from my eligibility with that, so I'm no longer eligible. I used up all of the funds that were awarded to me through that unemployment benefit. So now I don't have any income coming in. But like I mentioned in the past, I do have enough income saved to get me through to about like May-ish of next year. Moving on to like the next little thing, I have applied to 90 jobs now, including the application of just interest in a company. I've applied to full-time jobs, part-time jobs, even some that were just 5 hours a week, contract positions. Moving on to like the next update with that is that I did get one response back that wasn't a rejection. They asked me to fill out a questionnaire and they said that that would be considered like the screening interview process. So I filled out the questionnaire and they said that if they wanted to move forward, they would get in touch with me within a couple weeks. 2 weeks went by and I didn't hear anything, so I sent an email and they followed up later that day saying that they decided to move on with other applicants. They did say that they had over 900 plus applicants for the position and that I was a very strong candidate and that more than likely they chose to move on with someone else that just had more experience with what they were looking for, which was completely fine. But what floored me was like the 900 plus applicant thing. I was like, wow, that is like a lot of people to be up against. So that kind of put me into a bit of a spiral and I had a slight panic attack because at that point when I saw that, I was like, how am I ever going to get a job if I'm constantly up against like 1,000 people for every job application that I put in? I kind of like got sad and depressed and cried and was like freaking out for a minute, and then eventually I like calmed down and rationalized the situation and thought about why I was feeling that way, and eventually I was feeling a lot better. But that leads me kind of into like the next segment slash update is that I have been feeling a little depressed lately, mostly because the unemployment benefits were running out and then the whole 900 plus other applicants thing kind of freaked me out. And I know now that at the beginning of the journey, I definitely underestimated how hard it would be to get a job. And I do hear a lot of people saying this market is especially tough, and I've talked about that in my other videos. And I'm not saying this to brag, but like I've never had to apply for 100 jobs to get a job. So I never knew that that was like a normal thing. I'm finding out now that you typically in a normal market have to apply for around 150 to 100 jobs to get a job, and that has personally never been my experience. I always had gotten interviews if I applied to something, or I had multiple offers and had to make decisions. So I've never been in a situation where I've had to apply to so many jobs just to get through in an interview process or get a job at all. So I definitely have underestimated this whole situation. I'm realizing that now, and I'm learning a lot and being more prepared as I go. So obviously I'm still looking for a job. I have not even had an offer, and I only made it through that one screening interview with that job. This whole process has been kind of discouraging and making me realize that I've been lucky in the past with just being able to find work fairly easily. But I'm just trying to stay positive and continue focusing on making my YouTube videos, spending time updating my resume, spending time learning, networking, posting on LinkedIn, commenting on other people's stuff on LinkedIn, sharing things, and just trying to do whatever I can to land me my next position and trying to stay open about opportunities. So another update that I have, I lost count at this point at what update we're on, is that I have noticed a significant increase in scam like recruiters or job offers. I think I've probably encountered maybe like 5 or 10, which I guess really isn't that much. I just wanted to mention it because I don't know if everyone realizes that this is a thing. But one way that someone reached out to me was they said that they were a recruiter from Robert Half, which is a staffing agency. And they messaged me on LinkedIn and said, hey, like, you know, I'm reaching out. Like, I think your skills and qualifications are impressive, blah, blah, blah. Their last name was like listed as their first name. So it was last name, middle initial, and then first name, which kind of threw me off. I went on their LinkedIn and they had listed education, work experience. So it looked like it was a regular profile, but I still was like, something just seems off to me. And then they said that they had possible openings and they would like to contact me, and I wasn't responding back right away. And then I started noticing that they just kept responding as if I responded to them, which was like obviously a complete red flag at that point. And they kept sending more messages to me. The grammar was worse. They were sending like question marks because I wasn't following up, and then all of a sudden their account was just like gone, vanished, because LinkedIn obviously had someone report that it was a fake account. So that was like pretty weird. And I kind of knew right away that something was off. I was like, this doesn't seem right. Another scammy thing on LinkedIn is that they'll say that they went to the same college as you, and then they'll ask you like how you're doing, or, oh, I see you're currently working for work. So the weird thing about this one was that they sent me a connection and said, hey, I see we went to the Art Institute together, which I went to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh for, I think, 1.5 years, 2 years before I transferred to another university. But the thing about the Art Institute is that there was a different Art Institute across many different cities in the country. So even though it looks like we went to the same college, we technically didn't, unless they went to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh, which I didn't recognize them, I didn't know them. So they probably didn't go to the same art institute that I went to. And I kind of responded back just like a general thing, because I was like, I don't remember you from school. I don't recognize you. And so I just sent a general reply. And then I saw that they messaged back asking about, oh, I see that you're looking for current work opportunities. I saw it, didn't even bother opening, and just left it sit there because I just had a feeling that it was just scammy. And then a few days later, I went back to actually look to see what they said, and their entire account was gone. The message was gone, their account was gone, so that was obviously a scam as well. On top of that, I've had 2 real recruiters that are real people reach out to me for companies that I would consider scams. They're kind of like pyramid scheme, mid-level marketing companies. And this isn't the first time that I've had an experience with a company like that. I actually interviewed with a company like that when I was right out of college. So I already knew that this was a scam because it was like the same type of interaction and situation. And then I researched it online, popped it into Google, looked at Reddit, and I was like, oh, yep, you're just another scam company. But the first one, they called themselves a marketing company, but really what they do is give you a bunch of really big promises like paid training, advancement opportunities, networking. So they typically come at you with things like, are you working in customer service or the food industry and looking for a way to change your career or grow and learn or blah, blah, blah. But what they actually do is not marketing. What they have their employees do is they make them go to these big stores like Lowe's or Sam's Club or Walmart and sell DirecTV packages or Comcast packages, things like that, on commission only. So if you're not making sales, then you're not making any money. So a lot of times what happens is these people have to work these long, crazy hours just to make enough money to live on because you're only making a commission. So if you're not familiar with commission, you're taxed 30% on commission. So you have to be good at sales and sell a lot of stuff in order to make a decent amount of money, especially if you're not having like any salary on top of your commission. In my experience, it's pretty normal to have a base salary and then plus your commission. That's how I was compensated at a previous employer that was a sales-based role. That's also how other people I know that are in sales, how they're compensated as well. They called me, left me a voicemail, called me the next day, left me a voicemail, emailed me. They sent me emails making it seem like I sent them my resume or applied to a job with them, and I didn't. And so I actually had to send them an email telling them to stop contacting me and to never contact me again, because they just kept blowing up my phone, blowing up my email, and I wanted nothing to do with a company like that. And then I also had a similar company reach out to me. This time, instead of selling DirecTV in a store, they sold life insurance, but it was like the same situation. You get commission only, they promise you the world, and then they just basically work you like a dog. And I just immediately said, no thank you, I'm not interested. So I had those two type of like scammy companies reach out to me. And then I've had quite a few recruiters for jobs that I did not apply to reach out to me. I'm sure they found my resume somewhere, or who knows. No idea how they found like my contact information, but some of them I respond and say, no thank you, I'm not interested. At this point, if a recruiter that reaches out to me and I didn't reach out to them first or didn't apply to a position, I'm just gonna assume that it's a scam. Additionally, I've had recruiters call me, leave me a voicemail, then text me, and then email me. And this was like the same recruiter all within 10 minutes. And I understand that they might be trying to fill a position or whatever. Maybe they're just doing their job. But to me, that's just way too much. So anytime I get something like that, instead of calling or texting, I just email and say, no, thank you, I'm not interested. Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you because I am not sure if everyone is aware of all the different ways that companies and recruiters can scam you to get your information. And I obviously don't want anyone to be a victim of that. So I just wanted to bring some attention to possible scams and just to remind everybody to be very careful about interacting with people in this job market and when you're job searching, because I know that everyone typically gets pretty excited when they think that they're getting an opportunity or someone's reaching out to them, but you just never know if that person's legitimate. So always make sure that if a recruiter or a company is reaching out to you and you didn't apply to them or send them your information, that you're checking to make sure that they're legitimate and that they're a real person, a real company, and they're not like a pyramid scheme or something like that that's going to try to scam you out a bunch of money and just get your information. The final update that I have for you, and this is the thing that I mentioned that I was really excited about sharing earlier, is that I applied to the Girls in Marketing digital marketing internship programming. So that is a 3-day virtual internship program in September, and I was accepted into that program. I didn't have to interview or send a resume or anything like that. I just filled out a form online and I was accepted into the program. But I'm really excited about that program. It's 4 hours for each day, and I believe I'll be signing on for that from 8 a.m. till noon. So I'm really excited about this internship program because it's an opportunity to learn more about digital marketing and network with other people who are interested in marketing or already within the marketing industry, as well as learn from some of the top industry leaders and experts. So for the next Unemployed Diaries video, I am going to take you along with me as I do the 3-day internship program. In that video, I'm just going to highlight some of the things that I'm learning in that program, any activities I do within the internship, and just overall my thoughts and experience while being a part of that 3-day internship program with Girls in Marketing. So that's the most exciting update I have to share with you in this video. I can't wait to be a part of that program in September and share how that goes with you as well. So there's one more thing I want to mention and throw out there. It's not an update or anything. I just want to know if there's anything else that you want to see in these Unemployed Diaries videos, or anything else that you want me to talk about or bring up. So far in these videos, I talked about my financial situation, how I job search, like my mental health and how I deal with everything. So I've also posted other videos that are similar to the Unemployed Diary series. For example, I posted the How to Romanticize Your 9 to 5 video. I also have another video that's going to be premiering, I believe, a week after this video comes out. It's called How to Thrive During a Layoff, and that video is just talking about how to make the most of a bad situation or an unfortunate situation like being laid off unexpectedly from your job. So I just would love to know what other stuff you guys want to see in this Unemployed Diaries vlog series. So for September, that's already planned because I'm going to be covering my internship. And then in October, if I still don't have a job, there's going to be some wiggle room there as far as what I put in that video. I do have intentions that when I get to the interview rounds, that I would do a video about how I prepped and prepared for an interview, but that hasn't happened yet, so I haven't been able to make that video. So I'm hoping within the next couple months I get an opportunity to make that video. But besides that, what do you guys want to see? What do you guys want to hear? Is there anything you want me to elaborate more on? Or do you just want me to just vlog about whatever I'm doing during that week when I decide to pick up my camera? Do you want to hear more about content creation and my YouTube journey? Let me know in the comments below what else you want to see or have me talk about in these videos, because I feel like I'm starting to run out of fresh content ideas for this vlog series, since I'm kind of in a limbo period of finding a new job. So that concludes another episode of the Unemployed Diaries. Thank you so much for watching. So if you made it to this point in the video, put a coffee mug emoji in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.